Texas A&M quarterback Kellen Mond is calling for the removal of the on-campus statue of former university president Lawrence Sullivan Ross. Mond cited the former president's racist history and tweeted that he needed to see action. Former A&M quarterback Johnny Manziel tweeted his support of the movement as well. So, Shannon, should this statue be removed?
Yeah, it should, Skip. I don't understand. We don't normally put up statues of losers. And everybody that fought for the South, they lost.
Yep.
And Skip, what I don't get is what they were fighting for. It's like you want to pay homage for someone that wanted to keep a specific group of people oppressed. Mm-hmm. Now, he has 24 signatures to remove the statue. There's 25 signatures to keep it. Now, let me tell you a little bit about his background.
1,000, right?
25,000, yeah, 24,000
right.
to remove, 25,000 to keep. Mm-hmm. Now, let me give you a little bit about Ross's background. He was a Confederate general fighting for slavery. He says, I will not recognize Negroes as soldiers.
Yep.
His nickname in Texas was the Negro Killer. Mm-hmm. He enslaved and killed thousands of Americans in the massacre at Peace River. He sent Houston Light Guard.
No, those Native Americans.
Native Americans, yeah. Mm-hmm. He sent the first militia into predominantly black communities to dismantle and kill blacks.
He did.
And you want a statue of him up? Mm-hmm. Oh, but let me tell you what he did do, though, Skip. He funded and got funding for Prairie View. Nah, I'm sorry.
For the all-black
college at Prairie View A&M. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, no. Mm-hmm. One good deed cannot override horrible injustices that this man did. There needs to be no statue. I just saw Senator Joe Kennedy says, well, if we remove these statues and if we take these Confederate soldiers' names, generals off the Army base, it unfairly hurts the South. Mm-hmm. Dum-dum. Yep. Mm-hmm. The South fought against the North. What they did was treasonous. Mm-hmm. And you okay with that? You knowing what a person represents.
Yeah.
Once you know what a person represents, how do you get behind that? And it wasn't put up when they were alive. Mm. You put that up to keep once they started getting more rights. The blacks started getting more rights. Yep. You put that up as a reminder.
You did
for them. Mm-hmm. Nah, man, come on, man. It's time out for this. Skip, I want to know: can I go anywhere in Germany and find a statue of Hitler? You think I could find that? Somebody just told me, Skip, in order for you to bring out the Nazi flag, it's for a teaching moment, and you have to get a permission from the government.
Okay.
And they want to fly Confederate flags, and they want statues of people that tried to tear America apart.
Yep, good point.
Man, they need to stop with this.
So, I've told you several times, this is potentially the greatest moment in the history of this country.
I 1,000% agree.
And certainly in my lifetime, when it comes to racial perception. White communities' eyes, ears, minds have been open like never before. And it's time to re-examine all of the symbols, all of the lyrics and songs that are racist. And they have persisted down through the generations because they were traditions.
Right.
Mostly in the Deep South. Now we're talking about the South of Texas.
Right.
And it's a time to remove. It's a time to upgrade. It's a time to eliminate all these vestiges of Civil War mentality that have continued to exist right under our noses all these years.
Yes.
The statues, the song, The Eyes of Texas, that is the University of Texas fight song. And it has racist lyrics in it. And to the credit of the black players at Texas, they're saying no. Oklahoma State players, for a while anyway, said no. The Clemson players are saying no. Mm-hmm. Now they're saying no at UNLV, Nevada, Las Vegas, because they've got a Reb statue there because they're the rebels.
Running rebels,
Well, what does it stand for? Well, you know what it stands for.
Exactly.
The Confederacy. It stands for fighting for slavery, and it's going to come down. It's going to be removed.
Way out in Nevada.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. So this one had some gray area to it because, as you pointed out, Lawrence Sullivan Ross, we're going way back into the 1800s, but when he was the governor of Texas, he was known to be an advocate for black Texans. Well, that's after he had a history
of fighting to keep them enslaved.
Yes, of killing black settlers.
Yes.
And when he presided over the Texas Rangers, who were like the sort of the police force of Texas back in the Wild Wild West days.
Yeah.
And he presided over slaughtering Native Americans, Mexicans, and black settlers.
Yes. So we just gonna bypass that, Skip. But he did get funded for Prairie View.
Yeah,
so we gonna bypass that.
Okay, so obviously there's some gray area. And let me say this about Texas A&M. I have traveled all over this country, and I think I've been to just about every college town, college site. And they're always great, and they're fun to be there on Friday night and Saturdays, as you well know.
Right.
The traditions at Texas A&M run the deepest in this country, to me, in a great way. Those people are so proud of the history of their school, and they could be prouder if they would remove this statue. Because 5 faculty members this week wrote an opinion piece that was printed in the Houston Chronicle just saying, no, this will not work for us. You realize that student body now has grown greatly to 40% students of color. 40%.
Yeah.
It's groundbreaking for Texas A&M.
Right.
Well, now you have to put your money where your mouth is. Now you need to join the present by saying, you know what? This stands for all the wrong things. And I loved what Kellen Mond's a good football player.
Yeah.
And he has led that team the last 2 years as its starting quarterback. Not saying he's going to be a great pro player, but he's a competitor and a big playmaker for Texas A&M. And now he might be making the biggest play of his life.
Right.
Because he's just saying, the values, this is what he tweeted, the values of Texas A&M University do not align with, and these are all caps, racism, violence, slavery, segregation. They don't.
Right.
Not anymore.
Right.
So it's time to re-examine those 25,000 people. Remember, that statue has history because when they called him Sully, when he was president of the university, he would offer to tutor students for a penny a tutor because he just was doing it mostly for free.
Right.
And so when it comes exam time, all the students, the tradition is they put pennies on the statue for good luck.
Right.
Okay, great. We get it.
Right.
You can do without that because the deeper meaning of that statue is not aligning with your modern day vision of what your university should be.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. Skip, his history is what it is. It's there. You can't, there's no denying why every general lined up and fought for the South against the North.
He was a brigadier general for the Confederacy.
Yes. And so we know what that was about.
That alone should disqualify the statue, let alone all the things that we just talked about. And you always talk about how you need the white quarterbacks to step up and support and lend their voice.
Yep.
Johnny Manziel lent his voice.
Yes.
And remember, that stadium right now is known as the house that Johnny built.
Yep.
The funding for that upgraded stadium that they play in, it is spectacular, came from the era of Johnny Manziel. Now, he has shamed that university with some of his behavior.
Right.
But his greatness was his greatness while he was in school there, and he did win the Heisman Trophy. And when he tweeted...
He only had 2, right? John David Crow?
Yeah. Yep. He tweeted, Johnny did, proud of you, my G, to Kellen Mond.
Right.
Keep being the leader you were always meant to be. Bingo. Correct. And then hashtag all love, hashtag gig 'em, which is their fight song, you know, their sort of their slogan.
Praise,
Gig 'em Aggie.
Yep.
Okay, traditions run deep, but this one needs to change. And I hope those 25,000 people are looking in the mirror because it's a time to re-examine.
It is.
To say, hey, wait a second, really? Is that fair to all the black students, to all the Hispanic students, to the Asian students, whatever color students it might be?
Right.
Is it fair
that
that's our sacred figure in the middle of our campus?
To walk around and knowing that, man, that guy, he fought for slavery, he killed Native Americans and black for no other reason. What was the reason? For no other reason. So I got to walk by that statue.
Trying to rid Texas of that ilk.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, that's what he was trying to do it for, Skip.
Yeah.
So I just don't get it. I mean, once you know what a person stands for, you want to erect the statue when you know what he did. So in other words, you're like, okay, yeah, he did it. So are you siding with him? Are you agreeing with it? Nah, I can't get down with that. I'm sorry.
And some people say that he had some connections to early KKK. Okay, game over.
Yeah.
Time to move on time to join 2020.
Well, if you skip, if you fought with the South against the North, and everybody knows the only reason, the biggest reason why they fought this was to maintain slavery and to keep that economic base. Skip, you don't need no statue. You first of all, you lost. You caught L's. Nobody with an L should get a statue. And then the racism behind this, Skip, I just don't. I don't. Like I said, I don't get it. Maybe I'm just looking at. I'm looking at it from a different lens. Than my white counterparts.
Well, in many ways, you are. It is time in America for all the racist symbols that have somehow endured to come down and be removed.
Right. 1,000%. If Aunt Jemima if Quaker Oats can take Aunt Jemima off, but Skip, think about it. If another race can cost someone something, you probably know that it's, you know what, we probably should have done away with this a long time ago. It didn't take 131 years.
Yeah. It doesn't, it's crazy. Anything that doesn't unite us right now, we move on.
Yes.
It's not even a question anymore. I can't even believe that we're having discussions like this sometimes, but we are, and they're needed, and we need change. Bill Russell, guys, he has spoken out, and he shared some powerful words about the state of the country, and we will tell you everything he said after